Spain's property news with Sandtons Property. I'm here in Marbella. Let's get into real talk. Our headline this week, Spain's homeowners are taking control of the rental market. Spain's tourist property licenses. Here I am reporting from Marbella beachfront. Tourist licenses, they're no longer a golden ticket. Spain's homeowners, they take control of the rental market. Here I am in one of the most prestigious places in all of the world, where there's gleaming yachts, golden beaches, iconic buildings, and a great old town. And the asset that's grabbing all the attention now? Tourist rental licenses for residential properties. So for years, foreigners saw Spain as a simple investment. You buy a home, rent it to holidaymakers, and watch your returns. That's a great way, but in 25, it's not so straightforward. Behind me are some of Marbella's most sought after apartments. But it's not just the view that's driving people here and value. It's whether you have a tourist rental license. Properties with these licenses, they're going to command a premium. And it's been reported that's up to 100,000 euros already. Here in the Costa del Sol, though, the golden ticket that used to be is no longer simple rental. The real story now is how much local homeowners associations have over these rentals. In the charming streets of Marbella's Old Town where I am now, a major shift's underway. Spain's new tourist rental law, Organic Law 1/2025, which came into effect on April 3, so it's what this law about. It's your explicit approval from your neighbours, the Building Home Owners Association, to operate short-term rentals. So what does that require? 3/5 of you to agree a majority. So here's what we say as real estate agents. The rules aren't just tougher, they're giving more control to homeowners. Your association can now approve, restrict, or block tourist lets. And look, there's some impositions. You could end up with 20% higher fees on them, or even get legal action if necessary. The aim is to get balance, investor interest with residential stability. So what makes it more complex? Well, each city, like here in Marbella, they're going to handle it differently. Barcelona, all across the Costa del Sol, local councils are going to create a patchwork really of regulations. So in some cities, existing licenses are safe for now, but new licenses face tough hurdles. So starting this July, it's going to be a little simplified. All tourist rentals registered on the Spanish National Registry. Failure to comply, you're going to get fines. Look, as I finish up in Marbella for this section, the message is clear. If you're investing in Spanish property, do your homework. Tourist licenses, they're still available, but only if your building community agrees to them. Your neighbors, in other words. This isn't just about real estate, it's about how it shapes our Spanish neighborhoods going forward. You can read more in-depth analysis in the Spanish living section of Sandtons.com. And there's also a guide to tourist licenses in the services section. Turning to Marbella's luxury property market. The Knight Frank Wealth Report for 2024 is out, and according to its March release, it continues to show Marbella as defying global economic trends. And this annual report analyzes high net worth markets around the world. Marbella is leading the pack. Let's look at some key highlights. Luxury home prices in Marbella, they've risen 7.2% according to Knight Frank, double the global average. But alternative data we look at shows that figure closer to 12%, putting Marbella among the top 5 luxury markets worldwide. And property sales, they're up 13% for 24. Marbella now claims 3 of the 10 most expensive streets in Spain. And globally, 44% of high net worth individuals plan to expand their real estate holdings in 25. So markets are faced with pressure from high interest rates, tighter monetary policies. But Marbella has stood firm. What's this resilience about? It's holding strong because Spain's property market was historically undervalued. Only recently have prices returned to the pre-levels of 2007. And luxury buyers, they tend to be less affected by rising interest rates because you buy with cash or have financial buffers to manage loans with ease. So the global outlook and what's happening? Growth forecast by Knight Frank reports 28.1% increase in high net worth individuals worldwide between now and 2028. And strongest growth? Asia, 38%. Middle East, 28.3%, Australasia, 27%, and North America is at 25.7%. And many of these new, wealthy individuals are looking for world-class lifestyle destinations, places just like this. And even paradise has some challenges. There are housing pressures here, we know. The so-called Marbella effect has created a serious shortage of affordable housing. Sanchez dealt with that in a speech in Parliament last week. So properties around 300,000 are getting increasingly hard to find, and rentals, it's difficult at the beginning of the market. And while tourism rentals are substantially higher value and remain very profitable, they've cut into long-term inventory. This has made it difficult for essential service workers to live nearby. Experts are warning about this, and it could affect the luxury market workforce if it can't keep up. Still, the overall picture remains exceptionally strong. Spain's economy grew 3.2% in 2024 and is outpacing the Eurozone. And Marbella, the unique combination of economic stability, modern infrastructure, and Mediterranean climate, keeps global wealth flowing in. Over the past decade, Marbella has seen a 105% rise in house prices, and with the momentum building, the growth is expected to continue. Marbella remains one of the world's most desirable property destinations. And all signs say this climb is far from over. Today we're featuring what's currently Spain's most expensive property, an extraordinary Marbella mansion, truly remarkable price tag, just 70 million. Villa Bellagio sits within Sierra Blanca's Marbella's most prestigious gated community. And what makes this exceptional property is not just the price. It's the sheer scale, the opulence, the display of it, spanning over 5,600 square meters on 14,000 square meters of land, the largest in Sierra Blanca. The property is designed by acclaimed architect Jesus de Valle and even received royal recognition, winning awards. The property features 13 bedrooms and assembles a private wellness center with amenities including a 22-meter pool. Professional spa, Turkish hammams, Finnish sauna, private cinema, and even a double bowling alley. For auto enthusiasts, there's parking for 12 cars and an additional 30 spaces outside. British entrepreneur Joe Ricotta made his fortune in logistics before turning to luxury property development. Ricotta sold his refrigerated transport business back in 2015 for a substantial sum and has since developed high-end properties across Europe. So as I sit here having a coffee after talking about Marbella and expensive homes and this great luxurious property market, I thought I'd leave you with something a bit fun today. Do you know that Spain's got property raffles going on? You've got it. $2 or $3, buy some tickets, maybe you get lucky and get it home. Be a little careful with this world. This stuff's obviously covered by Spain's gambling commission, and you've got to think through the process if you're either a seller and or a buyer to legally protect it. So there's some loopholes and obstacles to cover if you wanted to go and raffle your home. The upside, you may just get more for your money than you would in the open market. And it's increasingly popular right across Europe. There's more details about that on our blog. Oh, until the next time, hasta luego.